Hi, my name's Zach. Welcome back to my channel, The Monster Garden, where I do readings with my original cards, inspired by tarot, but a little bit different. They have characters from my game Monster Garden on them. So the topic of today's reading is how to get in touch with your inner child. So I personally think that play is really important and valuable for adults as well as children. But since we're living in a play-deprived society where play is not really valued, I think for a lot of people, the last time they played and had fun was in their childhood. So I'm kind of taking that perspective, and really it's about how to feel safe to be playful and explorative and just letting your guard down and being carefree like a child. I know getting in touch with your inner child can sound like a lot, that could involve intense memories and things you experienced, but this is more focused on just more getting in touch with a lighthearted, fun, playful side of yourself and allowing you to experience that as an adult and how to do that. So that's the topic for this reading. And we've got four stacks of cards. Pile 1 has this piece of driftwood. It's a tiny little driftwood piece. Pile 2 has this ringing bird bell. Pile 3 has this ceramic fish with a nice little face. And pile 4 has a plastic crystal. So please take a minute now to choose which pile you feel drawn to. You can pause the video if you need to, and of course you might feel like you're drawn to one or more than one pile, and you can always watch more than one reading in the video if you want to. But once you've chosen a pile, just go to the timestamps in the description box below this video and click on the time for the pile that you chose, and it'll take you to the part of this video with your reading on it. So take a minute to do that now, and I'll see you in your part of the video at your reading. Hi, pile 1. If you chose the little driftwood, this is your reading. So I dealt out 3 cards on each pile, and then I'm going to randomly shuffle out some more afterwards. But let's just look at the first 3 cards. We've got Roofy, Ride the Wild. We've got Drizzy in reverse, Big Void Energy. And we've got the White Diamond in reverse, the beginning and end. So the basic vibe that I'm getting from this pile is kind of like you have a lot of energy you don't know what to do with, and you feel kind of desperate or helpless, and like you can't even really get started. You're not sure where to start. You just have this maybe you have a strong desire or feeling that you want more play, or you want to feel like a kid again, but it feels hopeless in this adult world. You don't know how to get started, or maybe you don't even think it's possible. Roofy is this monster with a lot of pent-up energy that it just doesn't know how to unleash, and in the process of the game, it just learns about self-acceptance and accepting that energy. So you might have accepted you have this strong desire to play or be like a kid, but you just don't know where to start, because Drizzy in reverse is this kind of nihilistic or feeling lost or hopeless energy. It's this meta character that sees he's in a game, and in reverse it's about just thinking, everything's just a game, it's hopeless. Then you've got the White Diamond, which is where the game begins and ends. You start in darkness in the game, this black background, and the White Diamond is like your portal into the Monster Garden, and also the way you leave and quit the game. And in reverse, that can mean you can't even get to that starting point, you're just kind of stuck. So I feel like this might be where you're at right now. It's like you see the goal and you really want to get there, but you don't know how to get there. Maybe you have a memory of something you did as a child and you're like, yeah, I want to do that again and feel that way again, but it's impossible as an adult, and you're maybe trying to force yourself to try to get back to this experience, but it's not working, so maybe you feel frustrated and a little bit lost. Let's just shake out some cards to see maybe some tips on or guidance on the situation. Let's try to see what shakes out. Oh, there we go. A lot just came out. So we've got 1. Invention connects the unconnected. We've got Tifa, the floating poet. So many Bobos in reverse. This is a lot. They all fell out though. Baby, follow the fun. Mr. Bobo, your guide. and precision, thorough, and complete. Let me take a minute to process all of these. And I was just realizing with the initial cards, it might also be that you tried doing something, like doing the exact thing you did when you were a kid, but it didn't feel the same. So you're like, oh no, I can never get back to that state. Like I used to love playing house with dolls, but I mean, adults don't do that, and I tried doing it, but it's just not fun anymore. I feel like you might have had experiences like that based on the first three cards. I feel like there's a strong message with these cards of just letting go any past ideas about what play or fun was, and letting yourself just follow the fun in your present state, even if it leads you to something new, or like a new form of that old fun. Because this card literally says follow the fun, and this is your guide. So this is very lighthearted energy, just in the moment, seeing where it takes you, not trying to recreate the past or anything like that. And Tifa is this mysterious, intuitive energy, kind of even channeling energy from another world, just letting things come out without knowing where they're coming from. Just the words just flow out of her mustache, in her case. So I think instead of trying to like hopelessly recreate this past memory of childhood, you just need to follow something new, a new form of it in the present, because this is connects the unconnected. So something that hasn't been connected before, something you haven't done before. Maybe it can just be a new form of this old activity. Maybe if you used to like dolls, playing with them, now you could try like making a doll, or like playing with objects in the woods and pretending they're dolls, or something like a new take on it. Connecting that past childhood experience with your new adult life somehow. Like, what's a way you could kind of recreate that in a new way for you in the present, instead of thinking you need to totally relive things exactly the way they were. There's all this like new connections, mysterious intuition, just following the fun in the moment and listening to your inner voice. So that's the thing about your inner child. It's not that you want to go back to being a child again. It's not as literally as you just act exactly like the way you did 10 or 20 years ago when you were a child. It's just really getting back in touch with your like deep inner voice that just lets you do fun, irrational things without having this adult pressure to perform, be productive. That kind of pressure can ruin the desire to get back into childhood state. That's the kind of pressure that makes you think, oh God, I have to do exactly the same thing I did as a child, because that's what children do. That's what I did. But actually you can play in a new way as an adult. Maybe it's going to look totally different than your childhood play. That's totally fine and normal, actually. And then we've also got the precision card, thorough and complete. This is about seeing exactly where to strike. It's about very like efficient and directed action instead of aimlessly. So I think what could help you is some kind of activity that involves just like finding new things that delight you in the moment, whether that's like walking along the street and looking for things that catch your eye, or looking for nice pebbles on the ground that grab your attention and you collect them and have a fun game with them at home, or collect rocks. Something about like, with all of these cards, like following your sense of fun now in the moment and like acting on that, kind of in a sense forming a clean break with the past and really recreating new fun, new play for you in the present as an adult. And it could be based on or inspired by that thing you loved to do as a child, but just like maybe use that as a springboard and see where, if it leads you to something totally new or a new version of it. You've also got so many Bobos. These are the colorful, many different sides of Mr. Bobo. It's fun, you've got both Mr. Bobo and his funny sides, and they're kind of like different childish sides of his personality. They're all different colors of him, different outfits, and they represent all your funny different sides with kind of a simplistic childlike vibe of like your silly angry side that throws a tantrum, and then your other side that just wants to like go run outside and do something, kind of impatient, short-sighted sides of yourself, and just getting to know those and just playing with them. But in this case, I think that card is really about not just going back to the way you were as a child. That's not actually what it's about. I know the video is called Getting in Touch with Your Inner Child, but what that's really about is getting just back in touch with your like vulnerable, imaginative, explorative, fun side of yourself, not literally behaving like an impatient child who throws temper tantrums. So I feel like if you got this pile, I hope that's a new perspective for you. I feel like it might be a change, that it's not about physically, literally recreating childhood. You need to create something totally new for you and play as an adult. And there's ways that we can now finally play as adults with all our experience and knowledge of adults. So it's okay to use your adult knowledge and experience. You don't need to literally behave like a child that doesn't know how to do things by themselves. You need to follow your sense of play and fun as an adult. Just see where it leads you, following this intuitive sense of fun and making new connections. And then intentionally doing things to move forward with these new connections. You're like, that sounds fun, so I'm just going to try this new thing, because that's also the point of play, is like stepping into the unknown, doing something fun and new. That's what kids are always doing when they're playing these games. For them, playing with dolls is a totally new adventure every time, because they've only played with dolls a few times in their life. And once kids get bored with one type of play, they do a new one. So it's really not about the act itself. It's about doing something new and unknown, connecting new things, and following the play and following the fun. Not just endlessly forcing yourself to do this one childhood task because that's what kids do and that's what you did as a kid. That just turns it into boring work. So that naturally is going to lead to this kind of hopeless feeling and inability to get started. So yeah, I hope that helped. That was more cards than have ever fallen out at once, but I feel like they gave a really clear message. And if you enjoyed this video, I'm just going to stop the reading here, but if you enjoyed this video, then please like it and subscribe to my channel. Please leave a comment and let me know about what you thought about the reading. I hope you liked it. Whether you liked it or not, please just describe your feedback in a comment. And thanks. If you do subscribe, please hit the notify little bell icon so you'll get notified on new videos, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye. Hi Pile 2, if you chose the little ringing bird, this is your reading. So I put 3 cards in each deck initially, and then I'm going to draw more for clarity. But the first 3 cards, one is Distance, Let It Be. One is Creation in Reverse, Bring Your Vision to Life in Reverse. The other one is Broken and Beautiful, Tinty in Reverse. So just from these cards, I can also get a strong feeling. I feel like this is the things maybe blocking you in a basic message. I think it's that you might be a perfectionist person who wants to do things just right. If you're doing something, you want it to lead to something, like you want to make a masterpiece if you're drawing. You want to do it just perfectly. If you're doing this activity or playing this game, you want to play it right, the most efficient way, and then win. You don't want to have things be messy and unfinished and imperfect. That's what I'm getting from these 2 cards, because this is the Visionary Artist card, who's just selfishly, in a good way, usually selfishly focused on just making their mark on the world and enacting their vision. It's about having that vision that deserves to be brought to life. But in reverse, it can be a little bit of a too much focus on I have to do it my way and make my mark on the world. And really similarly, this is the card about accepting the imperfections and just being a broken and beautiful little television set. But in reverse, this is about trying to perfect things that can't be perfected, and needing to recognize that the beauty is actually in the imperfections. And some things, not only it's impossible to perfect them, but they're actually better when they're not perfected. And then you've got the Let It Be card that speaks to just needing to just let things be the way they are. So I feel like the key for you is escaping this pressure of perfection and productivity that could be what's blocking you from feeling like a little kid again, because little kids, they're never trying to accomplish something by playing. That's what makes the play so fun. They're not trying to develop their acting skills by playing house or make a masterpiece by drawing. It's just in the moment for fun, doing what they feel like. That's what it's really all about. That's what this inner child vibe is about. Getting in touch with a side of yourself that's just doing it to do it and for fun. Kind of escaping this adult pressure that I gotta be productive, this has to give me skills for work. That's really what we're trying to escape here. So it's not just behaving like a child, it's kind of just giving yourself a break from this kind of harsh and toxic adult world pressure that we all live in, because we live in a play-deprived society. But we can play as adults. It's not just about becoming a child, it's just about getting in touch with this state that's kind of free from those adult pressures that we've unfortunately created for ourselves that we don't have to have. We could have a society that embraces play for adults, we just don't really have that. So I'm going to let some cards come out for advice for how to maybe approach this situation. Okay, Leg Dog. Legdog Unexpected Developments in reverse, and Doofter in reverse. This is funny. It's more of the same message. Maybe this is just all you need to hear. It's like, this is about a little bit of curiosity going a long way and just one thing leading to another, usually about positive things. In the reverse, it can be being afraid of these unexpected developments that it's scary that you don't know what's going to come next. Even though in the game, there's lots of positive things that unfold from this character. It's just that you can't expect them at the beginning. There's no way you could have seen this coming. And this is again, literally with the other cards about perfection. I couldn't have summarized this card better. It's this character that only wants to be friends with monsters if they have something to offer. He wants the best friends, the best life experience. He demands the best of everyone around him. Upright, that can be a good thing, just having high standards, having strong boundaries. But in reverse, it's being a little too demanding and demanding the best, demanding too much of yourself, demanding too much of other people. It's just giving a strong message that you're just putting too much of this demanding perfection pressure on yourself. But the real reason could be that you're afraid of the unknown things that could emerge if you really just let yourself play without any expectations, without any goals. That can be scary, so it's understandable. You're like, what if I don't try to do a good job with this drawing? What if I draw something bad and stupid and ugly and someone sees it and says, what were you doing with your time? Because of all this pressure in our society, it can feel scary to waste time. Like, what if someone sees me wasting time? That's actually a pretty wild and crazy thing to be thinking. But if you're watching this video, I guess you want to be in touch with your inner child. And children, don't worry. Oh no, we're wasting time by playing tag. What are we going to do? We're so bad. That's really what you've got to get over. Not knowing what's going to come out of it is this fear that can block you. And not to mention, when you're actually playing, the secret catch-22 or oxymoron, or I don't know what to call it, of play, is it actually can lead to productive things. When you're playing around, maybe you actually will stumble upon a technique for making a masterpiece or an idea you really want to develop further in your actual job. It's just that thinking about it that way and expecting that and demanding that from the play kind of ruins it and makes it not possible. It's like this catch-22. We get the most out of play when you have no expectations on it. So it's really just best to totally somehow get over these expectations and let yourself just play freely and carelessly. No, you don't have to do a good job. You don't have to demand that other people be good enough to play your games with you or whatever you're doing. And I think the key thing is maybe that you're afraid of, where is this going to go? What could it lead to? What if I look stupid or act silly? So just addressing that fear, maybe recognizing that you're feeling that fear might help. And recognizing that it's not just about you want to be productive for your job. You might also have this kind of fear that's blocking you of, oh gosh, what's going to happen? And that's naturally scary, especially because adults, we're told we always have to be productive towards some end. You don't want to do a waste of time activity that takes you nowhere. But really recognizing and just for a moment giving yourself a break from that fear. That's what it's all about. And again, it's just for a moment. It's not that you're giving up on productivity for the rest of your life. It's like, just say, for 5 minutes, it just doesn't matter what I draw on this paper. It doesn't matter what I do. And then maybe after the 5 minutes, you're like, okay, just for 5 minutes more, I'm going to keep being totally careless and pointless. And then after that, I'll go back to being super serious, productive adult. So that's really what the purpose of the playtime is. It's just a temporary break. It's not that you abandon all your skills and hopes and dreams for the future in adult world. Just giving yourself a break from that, kind of taking a step back from that, and freedom from this really narrowly focused, close adult view in the world of how am I going to accomplish the goal, and just for a moment playing with the silly ideas and goals that you have, reimagining them, just forgetting them, seeing them from a different perspective, and that can lead you to a platform for play, a place to just play around. It can lead you to a playground, and then you play for a while, then maybe you'll find something, maybe you don't, then you can go back to your super productive normal life. I feel like you might be a high achieving person, which is great, but it also will help you achieve higher things if you give yourself this break time. In addition to the possibility of finding a cool breakthrough, it also is just relaxing, helping your mind relax will help you be more productive in a productive time. You can't work all the time. You really need playtime to recharge and rest. So there's just so many upsides to play, and the key is not worrying about what it's going to lead to, not caring what it's going to lead to. No pressure on yourself to make a masterpiece, no high standards, no perfectionism. And the catch-22 is that will actually maybe lead you to make more perfect, amazing work in your job after you've had this downtime to recharge and get ideas. That's really like the secret about play, is that it's actually very useful in adult life. It's not just pointless, but it's the most effective if we treat it like it's pointless. So I hope I got that point across. That's the key point of play. One of them. And so I'm going to leave the reading here. I hope you enjoyed this. If you enjoyed the reading, then please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell icon so you get notifications of new videos. And I would love to hear your comments. Let me know if this was accurate or not in the comment section. And thank you again, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Alright, if you chose pile 3 with the ceramic fish, this is your reading. Sorry if there's a little noise in the background, someone's kind of banging around in another room. But for each pile, I first just drew 3 cards, and then I'm going to shuffle some more out to get clarity on the message. But you've got Descartes' earnest enthusiasm in reverse. You've got Mooch learning from example in reverse. And you've got the knowing, understanding from experience card upright. I'm getting a really specific message from this one. I feel like you're a naturally very playful person, or you have play and games in your life already a lot of the time. And so I'm not sure why you're watching this video, but I think you might just be very focused on, this is my play, this is the way I play. I'm so tired of that annoying adult world stuff. This is just what I'm doing. Kind of standoffishly embracing your play and rejecting the adult world. With the Mooch card, we've also got this is about kind of just robotically repeating someone else's example, kind of just being this empty vessel to learn and input and output someone else's information. And reverse, I think it's about not wanting to do it other people's way, wanting to do it your own way, not just copy other people. I feel like you might be a highly creative, individualistic person like me, who stubbornly wants to do it your way, like me, so I totally get that. But I think with this knowing, understanding from experience card, I think you might be very playful and engaged with fun and play normally, but maybe you kind of feel like there's something more, and it could be going deeper or more than just this. Maybe that's why you're watching this video, and this is very specific. It might not apply to everybody. Maybe you feel like you're playing and it's nice, but you feel like you're just playing as an adult, or it's feels like work and you want to get a little bit deeper. Or maybe just, something about your situation is you know what you're doing and you're kind of stubbornly insisting on doing it your way. And this, I think, is maybe something, if you're watching this, if you chose this pile, that could be something that's kind of holding you back a little bit and preventing you from really playing and getting in touch with your inner child. But let's get some clarity. I'm going to shuffle out some other cards. I personally feel a connection to this pile because I'm very stubborn, and so I feel where you're coming from. Let's see what these cards are. We've got love, support, and encouragement, a really amazing card. We've got gatekeeper, explore the unknown. And we've got precision, reversed, thorough, and complete. So you've got a lot of the a lot of the human cards, which are kind of like major arcana, in that they're kind of rare and I feel really powerful. If you're familiar with normal tarot, they're like major arcana. So the basic message of love, support, and encouragement is that you're doing a great job. This card just says, just do you. And this gatekeeper card, explore the unknown, is about just going deep in your imagination, letting your imagination run totally free. So actually, I think maybe it's actually, this is kind of contrary to what I just said, but in your case, maybe it's okay just to selfishly and totally stubbornly do you. I feel like at some level you might kind of be resentful of people who told you shouldn't do it your way. So at some level, maybe you feel guilty that you're just stubbornly doing it your way and doing what you think is right. And that's actually preventing you from fully doing it your way and fully going that way. This is kind of a twist on what I just said, but now I'm kind of getting more clarity on the message. These are you're doing great. Just go even deeper. It's like you're playing and you're doing it your way, but at some level you feel wrong for doing it your way, and you're like, no, I should be doing this other people's way and sharing it with them. But this is saying no, just you're doing great, keep doing it your way and do it even more your way. Totally reimagine everything from the ground up. Go deeper with your imagination and play all the way into your crazy personal world where no one else could ever be there with you or understand it. That actually makes a lot more sense now. So yeah, it's like maybe if you're not naturally already playing games and having play in your life a lot already, you might be held back by this feeling of guilt, or like, no, I can't just let myself get carried away. I need to be following others' examples or including them. But this is saying, this is like very gentle encouragement of you're doing great. Keep doing it your way, and you've got this all the support and encouragement you need. And this is just like mysterious adventures into the depths of your imagination. Just a beautiful card to get when it comes to playing your inner child. This is speaking to how as children, since you have so little life experience, you can really just imagine anything. It's totally sensible if someone just says, imagine that you're, on an alien planet. The child can just start imagining it, because that's equally sensible as the world they're currently in. Like, the world that you're in as a child feels like an alien planet because every moment's totally new. So it's getting to that level of just freedom of imagination. So getting free from this trap of thinking that you have to do it other people's way. It has to make sense to other people. Like, don't let yourself get too carried away. Like, at some level you've got to go back to the adult world. Don't have too much fun. These are saying have too much fun and just do it totally your way. Forget about these people trying to tell you to bring it back to the normal world. And this card, Precision, in reverse, it's about kind of, how do I put this? This like brutal vibe of the outside world and kind of cutthroat nature of adult society. In the upright position, it's about seeing just where to strike with this really precise, efficient action. But in reverse, it's this kind of cutthroat vibe of things being scary. Let your vulnerabilities feel seen, and things are too cutthroat and intense, and you feel unsafe. So I feel like that could be related to the stubbornness and actually the holding back of playing, because it feels like if you go too deep and play too much, you're gonna like expose your vulnerabilities, or like quote unquote go too far, and then something in the real world with all this scary adult world is going to like hurt you, or this adult pressure will come back to bite you. And I totally understand that fear. It is really scary to like go deep into your personal world where it feels like no one else could go and no one else could understand you. But that fear can hold you back from having really delightful, deep, playful experiences and getting in touch with your inner child. So this is a really intriguing and deep reading that I personally feel a strong personal connection to. And then again, the top row and the bottom row are flip-flopped, because these are reverse, reverse, upright, and then upright, upright, reverse. So it's like with these two, it's like this is being afraid of just getting carried away, and this card is saying, just go for it. You're doing a great job. You have all the love and support you need. And this card is saying, I've got to follow other people's example, and that pressure to follow their example is it making you kind of toxically stubborn, like, no, I'm going to do it my way. But that kind of knee-jerk reaction can actually stop you from doing your way, because you're actually just reacting to other people, if that makes sense. So that's actually preventing you from doing it your way. And this card is saying, go deep into your way, deep into your crazy imagination. It's totally okay. And this knowing card, I think this might be about, it's about knowing from experience. It's very like mature, wise adult energy of having been through a lot. And so with all of our adult world lives, we might have come in contact with so much of this harshness in the adult world, so much heart cutthroat stuff. That's terrifying, understandably. We live in a harsh, play-deprived society. It feels like scary and wrong to play. And maybe you have a knee-jerk reaction of, no, I'm going to play anyway. You can't stop me. But that, when it's just a knee-jerk reaction to the toxicity of the adult world, it can actually become a block. So I feel like there's a clear overall message of just confronting and letting go of this fear of the adult world. Just create some safe personal space for you in your personal life where you can follow this loving, supportive, imaginative energy. Just go deep into your play style, your imagination. Make a new world just for you. Let yourself get carried away. Let yourself go too far in, like, I'm talking about a fun, playful, safe sense, of course. and no worries that, oh gosh, what if I quote unquote go too far and people don't understand me anymore. In your personal playful life, you can go as far as you want to, and then later, when playtime's over, you can go back to the normal person world. Maybe no one even has to know about it. You can just make this your secret. Have a secret playtime where you go deep off the deep end of your play style and imagination. And that can be sound scary, and it can be intense. Like going that deep in your personal world can bring up lots of issues. So of course, be careful, and maybe you don't want to do this until you've gotten professional help if you have some really real blocks or whatever. But just as a general message, just letting yourself play and have fun playtime in your style without feeling like you have to do someone else's play style, like you have to hold back because other people might not understand it if you play. I mean, realistically, it's true. Some people might not understand if you play because some people don't understand play. Some people just only think everything has to be serious, and some people are cutthroat and mean. So you're not imagining things, but everyone deserves this safe playtime to really just go deep into their play style. So this was a bit of an intense reading that I personally connected with. I hope that helped you. And I'm going to end the reading here. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you liked it. Please hit the bell icon when you subscribe so you get notifications of new videos. And please leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about this, if it connected with you or if you didn't. I love to see comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you, and bye. Hi, Pile 4. If you chose Pile 4 and the little plastic crystal, this is your reading. So, I put 3 cards. I drew 3 cards in each deck to start, and then I'm going to shuffle out more to get some clarity. First, you've got Sparkling Seedlings, Let's Grow in reverse. You've got Foofter, Gentleness for All in reverse. Then you've got the squares, Complementary Colors, upright. I feel like this could be a somewhat intense one. I feel like you might, like you've gotten started, you see there's something there in terms of play and fun and gentleness and vulnerability, all the nice sides of getting in touch with your inner child. But I think it might seem scary to go further, which could be for many reasons, because we've got this Sparkling Seedlings. In my game, every Sparkling Seedling represents a whole level of the game. So each seedling is a whole mini journey, a mini world, an adventure of meeting new monsters and discoveries. So it's about potential, growth, healing, adventure. But in reverse, it can be about feeling stuck and unable to heal and grow. And on a related note, we've got Foofter, Gentleness for All. He's this loving, gentle monster who is afraid to hurt a fly. He just loves all monsters. And this kind of, at a deeper level, represents just this feeling of gentleness and vulnerability inside that almost feels too pure and gentle for this harsh, scary world. And getting in touch with that is a big part of getting in touch with the inner child, I think. But with both of those in reverse, it could be really hard for you. It's possible that maybe you had a hard time or hard experiences in your childhood. So getting in touch with the inner child might bring up a lot of feelings for you. So of course, if you have any deep traumatic issues, then you might want to consider getting professional help. I'm just a random card reader. But it's natural that remembering childhood experiences and getting in touch with inner child could be related to these kind of fears or issues or blocks. But in any case, maybe it's not that serious, but something's kind of making it feel like it's scary to heal or grow. Because the Foofter in reverse is about like being unable to have gentleness for yourself because things feel too scary and you don't want to go on an adventure because that's like too much. But I think with this, it's saying like, you get that there's something there. These are these flowers that are these squares, I mean. They're the first monsters to come to your garden. They bring flowers in their colors. It's like the first signs of life that brings your garden to life. So it's very joyous and like a new beginning. It's like at a new beginning, maybe you found an activity you like to do that makes you feel playful, or you're thinking, oh, I want to do that again like I did as a child. But it feels too scary to proceed for some reason. It feels like a daunting, rather than a healing fun journey of discovery, it's like a scary, overwhelming one where you feel unsafe to progress. So I want to get some cards to get some clarity and hopefully give you some helpful message with that. Again, it's just playful message with my monster cards. I'm not a professional with this stuff, but let's see what we get. Come on, cards for clarity for group. Okay. You've got Party in reverse, the Savor and Celebrate card. I'm just going to take this one that really wanted to come out. It's the Precision, Thorough, and Complete card. These are really barely coming out. I'm like struggling to pull out the cards. Then we've got Joy, Song, and Dance to Celebrate. It's interesting, we've got Party, Savor, and Celebrate in reverse. I feel like this can be when like you don't want to celebrate with other people because social situations are kind of too much. And because then on the other hand, we've got Joy, Song, and Dance to Celebrate, which is about celebrating by yourself on your own, how you have the power to bring yourself joy just by singing or dancing and giving yourself a little burst of joy whenever you want. It's like you have something precious you want to keep to yourself. You don't want to go celebrate it in public in a party. Maybe you just want to keep it to yourself in order to escape the scary, harsh pressure of the adult world, which is again very understandable. This is the card about being able to see the weak spots or vulnerabilities and see just where to strike with like a minimal amount of action for maximum effect. It can also represent kind of that in a scary, intense way, like kind of cutthroat or harshness. It's a little bit scary to have your vulnerabilities seen, but in the upright position, I feel like this could be seeing your vulnerabilities, letting yourself see them and know about them without like being afraid of them, not feeling like you have to share them with others. This is getting kind of deep, but I feel like it's just in a gentle, light way, finding your own vulnerabilities and weaknesses and just joyously celebrating them. Maybe just having a little private celebration of yourself, a kind of private secret with yourself. I think this could be about like having a really focused approach instead of like being overwhelmed by this, so many things to deal with and process, and it's a big new journey of trying to get in touch with inner child and playing. That's a lot. Since this card is about precision, really focused action, I feel like it's saying just like focus on one little thing that feels safe and joyful. Just find one little thing to celebrate, one part of yourself or something you like doing. You don't need to like suddenly go back to childhood and like become a child all again and whatever that brings up for you. This card, I think it's saying find one really precise, specific, small little thing you can do to give yourself some joy and celebration. This whole getting in touch with the inner child thing, it might sound so overwhelming or like we're talking about something really deep and therapeutic, and it can be that, but what I'm really talking about in this reading is just how to give yourself some nice moments of fun and carefreeness and lightheartedness. You don't need to suddenly confront all your childhood issues or suddenly go public with this, suddenly have the biggest healing journey ever and like suddenly overcome everything or share with other people. But in any case, I think you can find something, no matter how small. Find one little precise thing that you can focus on just to give yourself a little moment of joy. It's like microplay. I read about this word microplay from this researcher in Japan one time. I think it's a really helpful idea. Just in the course of your day, anywhere you can fit in an act of microplay is enough, and it can lead to more moments of microplay and then bigger and bigger play. I think a lot of people, like I personally love physical games and singing and dancing, but I can see from my experience that for a lot of people, that's too much. It's like intimidating and overwhelming, especially if you're introverted. But play doesn't have to look like that. Play can just be one little quiet moment for yourself where you're celebrating in your own way. It doesn't have to be song and dance, but just feeling joy in your own way and find these precise moments for you where it works for you. Because the whole point is that it works for you and brings you joy, not that other people get it or that other people share the same way of playing or the same type of joy. Just find these moments. Maybe it can involve a friend, like finding these moments of play with yourself or with others in a careful, safe way that works for you. Almost like play therapy. I think that's a type of therapy where people kind of play with toys again and think about how they feel with it. This reading could be viewed by a lot of people, so you may or may not have some childhood issues. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But either way, I feel like it might just feel too intimidating to like suddenly be behaving like a child. Maybe you're just introverted or shy. So in order to play, you don't need to suddenly be like running around screaming like a kid. Play can be quiet, play can be solemn, play can be personal. It can be micro play. Find like 5 seconds or 30 seconds in your day where there's something you can do that actually brings you a real type of joy, and just like fit that into your day here and there. Maybe you're too busy to play, or you think you're too busy to play because to you play means like going all out for hours running around in the yard. But this whole getting in touch with your inner child thing can just be tiny and micro ways here and there. That's what I feel like this is about, micro play. Precise little chosen moments to insert play into your life and give you that feeling of just being a little kid having fun. Maybe it's just imagining things on the subway that you imagine a funny story about someone. It could take so many forms. I'm going to see if any other card comes out just as a final card for this group, because this was a lot. And, oh, well, gosh, that was a lot. This was so many. I'm just going to read through them like a sentence. Sometimes when a lot comes out, I do that. So, yeah, you don't need to be following other people's way and doing what everyone else is doing. You have your own special things just for you that other people don't know about, and that's okay. You don't have to show it off. You can totally keep it to yourself and have it hidden and below the surface and invisible, like I was just saying. It doesn't have to be super active, obvious, childlike performance of play. You don't have to, like, get super deep and confronting your childhood issues or analyzing things or thinking. I feel like it can be scary to, like, if you feel like you have to think too much and understand what's going on, or I don't know, getting too, like, feeling like you have to be brutally honest with yourself about what you're doing and what it really means and what's the deeper implications. Just find a light-hearted moment of simple, joyful play. Don't have to think too hard about it. It doesn't have to be deeply engaged. It doesn't have to be going back to your childhood. You can just have these moments of play as an adult. That's really another key message, is that I'm talking about adults playing. It's not that you become a kid again or go back to your childhood. It doesn't have to be deeply engaged. This is deep appreciation, but these are like these deep, quiet, ancient monsters. It doesn't have to be this deep depths of your life, anything. It can just be simple, light, focused, joyful thing that you're choosing specifically because it's accessible and nice and easy for you. And then the leg dog unexpected developments, then maybe it'll lead to a little more lighthearted play here and there, a little more moments of micro play. So yeah, the message of this one it could go a lot of ways depending on who's watching this, but the basic message is that you might feel kind of intimidated by this pressure to suddenly be like a little kid. That's understandable. You don't need to roll around on the floor. You don't need to have a big, shiny blast of noise and color. Just a little bit of gentle background play. These are also just gentle background characters. It's just a little bit of fun and joy here and there. Just add the microplay where you can. That is the message for this group. I hope it resonated with you. Please leave me a comment in the comment section and let me know what you thought. Please like this video if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so you get updated on new videos when I post them. And thank you again for watching, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!